Well, here's something you don't see every day. Hillary Clinton taking pointed, aggressive questions from the press. We saw her squirm quite a bit, actually. So she testified before the House Oversight Committee, just down the block from where she lives in upstate New York, taking questions about Epstein, Ghislaine, the girls, all of that stuff. And, wow. What do we find out? We don't know yet, actually. We're going to get some clues in a little bit. The full transcript will be online at some point. But there are some wild circumstances that the Clintons have found themselves in, right? Especially Bill. Here, there, and everywhere with, well, yeah, there's that matter. And then there's the other matter. And then there is the, well, the plane and, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Look, the whole country is obsessed. So people have questions. The Clintons were there at one point. They saw a lot. Maybe they know something. Maybe they don't. Well, they know something, of course. So, but Hillary said, look, all the sex stuff, it came way after we had anything to do with Epstein.
You spoke in your opening remarks about how heartbroken you have been for the Epstein survivors as these files have come out. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you have processed and reacted to the fact that the former president, your husband, Bill Clinton, is referencing the Epstein files numerous times, including in some photos featuring women? And how have you been personally preparing for the deposition that is coming tomorrow? Are you 100% confident that there isn't anything that the former president knows about Epstein's crimes?
I am, and I think the chronology of the connection that he had with Epstein ended several years before anything about Epstein's criminal activities came to light, and that he was charged and sadly given a sweetheart deal, which, as I said in my statement, had that not happened, perhaps his predatory behavior could have been stopped earlier. But I think it is fair to say that the vast majority of people who had contact with him before his criminal pleas in 2008 were like most people. They did not know what he was doing. And I think that that is exactly what my husband will testify to tomorrow.
Madam Secretary, can I ask?
Little gross there at the end. A tissue? She's got a staff of 50. Somebody give her a tissue. It actually is not an unreasonable statement. There is some merit there, except the part about the sweetheart deal. That's been misrepresented and misreported for a very long time now. Okay, so we had nothing to do with him after he was convicted of all that stuff, and we didn't know about it before he was convicted of all that stuff. However, there is the matter of Chelsea's wedding, which took place years after Epstein was convicted. And who's there? That's Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, Ghislaine figures prominently, let's just say, in Jeffrey Epstein's life, right? What was she doing at the wedding? She has an answer, and then she gets a little bit snippy, it seems to me.
Why was Ghislaine Maxwell invited to the daughter of Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010? She'd already been mentioned in a civil lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre before that. Jeffrey Epstein had already been convicted before that.
She came as the plus one, the guest of someone who was invited.
Madam Secretary, thank you all. The photos of your husband in the hot tub.
I don't know. Seemed to leave with a little bit of attitude. See that wedding again? I mean, possibly, yeah, look, that's an excuse. You have a wedding, you invite people plus one, you don't know who they're going to bring. Okay, what else? Tomorrow is Bill Clinton's turn.